Hello and welcome to the Investor Financing Podcast, and I'm your host, Bo Eckstein, and today we are going to talk about your personal financial statement in capacity to why you're going to need it for lending purposes. If you're applying for SBA financing, this is always kind of like the initial critical part is putting your assets and liabilities down on paper, and this is SBA's specific form. PFS, very important. As you go from being a single-family real estate investor to a commercial real estate investor, having a detailed personal financial statement is key, and that's why I wanted to kind of bring this to you today.
Welcome to the Investor Financing Podcast, where we interview real estate investors and lenders so you can learn all the secrets to getting your projects funded and scale your portfolio. Learn about fix and flip loans, BRRRR financing, rental, fix to rent, commercial, multifamily bridge loans, business loans, and so much more. And now, your host, Bo Eckstein.
Hello and welcome to the Investor Financing Podcast, and I'm your host, Bo Eckstein, and today we are going to talk about your personal financial statement in capacity to why you're going to need it for lending purposes. So we're going to start with Form 413, which is an SBA personal financial statement. So you're going to hear Form 413. If you're applying for SBA financing, this is always kind of like the initial critical part is putting your assets and liabilities down on paper, and this is SBA's specific form. But whenever you're applying for any type of commercial financing, we always ask for a PFS, a personal financial statement. This is a critical piece, is the sponsors or the borrowers, how do they look on paper, right? This is going to be a big indication of, are you going to be able to qualify for the financing on top of the business or the property, right? So you have to have, on business financing, you have to have creditworthiness and assets over liabilities. And your property or your business has to have cash flow. So if you're buying an existing business, they're going to ask for 3 years of historical tax returns. They're going to want 3 years of tax returns from the business so they can see the cash flow. So when you're buying an existing business, you got to make sure this business is cash flowing, because they're going to look for a debt service coverage ratio based on the cash flow. A lot of business owners don't want to pay taxes or pay less taxes, right? So they're going to have a lot of expenses. And so sometimes that's an issue when you're buying an existing business that's not cash flowing. Obviously, there's creative financing that could be a seller financed or seller carryback second. You can put a little bit more money down, and then SBA could loan amount could be reduced, right, to be able to cover itself from a debt service standpoint.
You're listening to the Investor Financing Podcast. We'll be right back after this break.
And now a word from our sponsors. Want to save money on your taxes? Cost segregation is a strategic tax planning concept that saves money by deferring federal and state taxes through accelerated depreciation. Get a free benefit analysis today. Please visit costseghub.com for more information on cost segregation and all of our cost recovery services that can put more cash flow in your pocket.
But going back to Form 413, this is kind of, if you're going to be buying a franchise or a business, or if you're buying real estate, owner user, you're going to use Form 413, and that's basically your personal financial statement. When we're talking about commercial real estate, they always ask for your PFS for the sponsors, right? They want to see the financials. A lot of the Fannie and Freddie agency loans, they're looking to see that the sponsorships have a net worth greater to or equal to or greater than the loan amount being financed on agency debt. So SBA doesn't have those same guidelines, but they're looking for, the character, the creditworthiness, all these different kind of underwriting guidelines, and analyzing basically the ability for you to repay this business loan. And so it's important, whether you're buying a business or buying commercial property, is to have a detailed personal financial statement stored so you can update that, daily. Because if you're buying a lot of real estate or buying businesses, you want everything dialed in. You want to schedule, especially in the commercial realm, you want to get detailed schedule of real estate owned with all acquisition dates and everything spelled out on a line by line basis. And keeping these stored somewhere safe is great, because you're going to need them ongoing as you get more and more properties. As you purchase and refinance more properties, you're going to need to have these documents handy. So I just wanted to go over today the importance of having this prepared, so when you're ready to buy a business or buy a piece of property, you have these important documents ready, because that's kind of the starting point of the conversation. To get an underwriter interested is they want to see your PFS. They want to see the if it's a new franchise that you're buying, a new business, they're going to want to see, is it an approved is it approved franchise already with SBA? What's the package look like? What's your sources and uses for the funds? What are you going to be using the funds for? And there's breakdowns for that. Usually there's a good overview with the franchise that you're buying. There's an overview of past performances, and they give you a lot of these tools that you can plug and play with based on your space or wherever your location where you're going to be operating the business. But PFS, very important as you go from being a single family real estate investor to a commercial real estate investor. Having a detailed personal financial statement is key, and that's why I wanted to kind of bring this to you today. So you can simply Google SBA Form 413, and you can get a copy of it. And you can also there's many templates online if you just need if you're not applying for SBA, but you need a template for a personal financial statement. I'm happy to provide a template. If you want to email me, that's great. Anyways, short episode, just want to go into the PFS and the importance of it. Hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode. Thank you very much.
Thanks for listening to the Investor Financing Podcast. For show notes and useful resources, please visit investorfinancingpodcast.com. For questions or comments, email info@investorfinancingpodcast.com. If you enjoy our show, please share it with your network. Until next time.